Yeah, how's it going, man? Fucking it's Johnny Sender, Mr. Matensis, Sir Master, fucking Victor. Like fucking hell, I'm coming in, turning like a cyclone, consider me a twister. Like fucking how do you think I break bricks apart? Like I'm gym smart. No relation to fucking authority or because I haven't got the authority for enforcement of my opinion on cunts who have freedom of speech in a country that's in the thick of it. Like, call me a country bumpkin when I'm fucking coming in like a jack-o'-lantern. It's Halloween. Like, fucking hell. Like, Roman Atkins is the comedy. Like, fucking hell. But obviously, I got a problem with how things are and seem to be, and on how they function. Yeah, turn that light on. And how they function. Hang on. Where that paper light? So, how many people are there that don't know this? Mira Booker, how much do we understand about the space around us as well as know you must know to understand? Situational awareness, relative time, rate of motion, angle of velocity, referring to day or night, reflection of light, and finding the origin. To live outside the law, you must be honest. If you don't like me, breathe in and out, because there's nothing else you can do. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. The content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. Have no fear of perfection. You will never reach it. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. There are three classes of people: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honour, and lovers of gain. If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. Every generation imagines itself to be more intelligent than the one that went before it, or fucking wiser, or wiser than the one that comes after it. The world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, the world will tell you. The more easily you get offended, the less intelligent you actually are. The more real you get, the more unreal the world gets. That's not entirely true, but I accept it anyway. If you work on something a little bit every day, you end up with something that is massive. I don't know if I'm too sensitive or if life is unbearable. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. I don't do revenge, but I can ignore your entire existence. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. He who does no wrong will not fear the investigations of justice. You're free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices. Don't be perfect, be real. They ask, what is loyalty? I replied, we are humans. Ask a dog, it knows better. What we achieve inwardly will change our outer reality. Progress is impossible without change, and those who can't change their minds can't change anything. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Don't be too nice, people will use you. The only people who are mad at you for speaking the truth are those that are living a lie. Keep speaking the truth. In front of death, even your friends and family members may betray you. You've seen my descent, now watch my rising. You are only rebellious in the eyes of those who can't control you or manipulate you. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. A liar will not be believed even when he speaks the truth. When they can't find anything wrong with you, they create it. The longer we dwell on our misfortunes, the greater is their power to harm us. The lesson of our history is that no one learns. It is essential that we not respond impulsively. Take a moment before reacting, and you will find it is easier to maintain control. Without freedom, the truth doesn't exist. Hell is empty and all the devils are here. I don't pay attention to the world ending. That's what I think when I see jets spraying chemtrails in the sky. It has ended for me many times and began again in the morning. Wisdom and honour know there is nothing to gain in life other than people you share it with. It all starts with you. If you're not in the place you want to be, change something. Only you can do it. Just accept that we're not responsible about the world we're born into. There's nothing we can do about that on a planetary scale. It all starts with the individual and how they connect with the world around them. It shouldn't be hard if it all starts with you. I couldn't begin to think where or how to change this concept. I know I don't want to be considered a puppet on a string, but who's real? I guess it all starts with understanding what this is and what life is about. To find your way out of the rabbit hole, you need to understand and state what you heard to change your perception in life from who it was. I know where it started for myself. After going to this place, there was a lot of talk about the Mandela effect and manifesting your own reality with the power of the mind. But first, it would had to start in some way or concept. I think I have my suspicions, but I won't state my problems. Just know there were mentions of dredging gold. He just so happened to have a daughter, Lilith. But how can I know the story of Lilith, the serpent, was true and credible when it could be a concept of my subconscious perception? What I'd like to know, what I don't know, is how to retract an intrusion in your mind and get back what you lost in real life. If the people in your life with you start with you, how can someone manipulate the society that's in your head, on your phones, on the news, on the radio, on the TV, or any form of social media? How can they make you oblivious to all those around you? People need to come together to open their eyes and realize the reality that they're in is not actually ran by society, it's ran by the individual due to the isolation and resilience / addiction to smartphone and social prominence. But really, what celebrities do we actually know and follow other than the ones that have always been around? Is it because TV, as big as it was rather small before it evolved into a smart device other than cable TV? We already had a place with all you could want, but then the internet became involved. So if this doesn't prove that the internet is now connected to real space, how can our world, your world, be inside itself that would suggest the prospect of no change? And or if that's where we or I've been, who takes us out of the foundation of who we are? For what reason do they hinder your progress and evolution with the one you confide in? Or for what? Do they claim society to be full of gold, as if people are robots and computer chips? This sort of technology is not made to last. The rest of time, that is, since everything that generates time generates heat of some sort of friction or gravity. Think of the stars in the sky as bubbles in the air, and that bubble holds that light because it has an atmosphere. So if there is more than one atmosphere in a complex of mirrors, we have a space frozen in time to each other's environment. You could look at it like you and the people in your town all having different connections and friends, so when people know of others, and get to know them, they get big, then they get smaller once the atmosphere seems to connect for a prolonged period of time. The length between becomes shorter as possibilities aren't as vast. So how much time would you normally get with someone before the passage of time diminishes and the social connection to that society doesn't matter? Should we ask how quick you want to grow up? Moving through a world totally blind to the reality and its nature, just wanting to be in control of those around you more than what you see. But those around you claim they're the reason to why you see what you see. No other person is in control of your life but you. People will talk about you to bring you down, but it's an eye for an eye because it really does make the whole world blind in the breakdown of society. At this point, you're thinking the whole world's probably frozen, probably fallen apart, and we're frozen in time, just stuck here left to wonder why. I just hope I can find how to fix this, how to change it, because it seems like an impossible issue if you want to think about it. How can the world really be like this? This puts me onto the concept they want you to believe on how the drugs are a makeup of something or someone and only a play to use it against you, with them saying this is what your enjoyment of this substance is from. Trying to swindle the image in society with blown out stereotypes on common misconceptions that are uncommon in belief, not to say or point figures, but a common thing is the Bible. But sure, it's not just the Bible, it's what you see on TV. Also, it's the stuff society as a whole manifests. I just don't understand how someone can buy your awareness when all that starts with the consciousness. So where do we go from here? If what goes up must come down, are we forever tethered to the ground by a ball and chain? But where do we go? If there is nowhere but here and there is no time but now, why should your image in society be based on others' judgment when they don't even know what's going on at all? So how can they dictate to you the circumstances when they can't do anything to help you evolve? They just want to feed off you as much as they can until you're just as cold. They think you're different because you don't fall into the same shoes as everybody else. Thinking everyone in life is exactly the same. It scares people when you set yourself apart, but the ones who pushed you to the point where you had to make the choice to prove to people what is really... But there are the ones who pushed you to the point where you had to make the choice to prove to people what is really going on. Energy of possibility. Take the time to get incredibly good at noticing when your mind is stuck in limited thinking. Then get even better at remembering that we live in a miraculous universe full of limitless possibilities. How does it feel in your body when you remember that anything is possible, that at any moment a miracle can occur? At any moment your circumstances can shift for the better. How would you live differently if you knew it would all turn out better than you can imagine? Does your body feel lighter? Move your body and amplify that beautiful energy of possibility. Get excited. Have fun with this. This is the energy to play in. Notice what brings you out of it. Heal that part of you and generate that energy of possibility again. Awakening is not the becoming of who you are, but remembering who you have always been. It's about waking up to what truly matters, seeing yourself from the perspective of the spirit within. Discard all that you're not. It's not always comfortable. Sometimes it means confronting your fears, breaking old patterns, and daring to change. Awakening is not for the faint-hearted. Become the one. It can feel tempting to dip into the stories of your past and then turn them into your future fears. into future fears. But instead of worrying about what might go wrong, what if you'd let yourself be pulled by what excites you, what inspires you, and what you would love to occur? What if instead of harping on why it hasn't happened yet, you decided to become the one to make it happen, and you committed to falling in love with the journey? It may take healing, patience, and persistence to align all parts of you to a new world of possibilities. But when you're living in life, when you're living the life you know you're in, when you're living the life you know you're freaking meant for, you won't care for much time or patience. You won't care how much time or patience it took to get there. You'll look back so proud and grateful for every version of you that brought you here. The stories you tell shape your life. For example, the stories you tell about your past will confine you or free you. The stories you tell about your present will stress you out or bring you peace. The stories you tell about your upcoming times will drain you or they'll motivate you. The stories you tell about people will cause resentment or cause love. Whenever you feel off, consider how you can improve your perception of someone, something, or yourself. Your power will come back to you when you take full responsibility of your perception and start telling stories that align with the life you'd love to experience. You're a powerful co-creator. The stories you tell become the world you experience. If you observe your life closely, you'll realize that some of your experiences are repeating in life. These experiences are referred to as cycles. They will follow the same patterns, but the people who are involved in that experience will be different. Pay attention to the patterns in your life and break the cycle. When something negative continues to repeat itself, it often means you have yet to learn the lesson. The secret to becoming more magnetic is that it's actually about becoming more you. It's about freeing yourself from who you were conditioned to be and dissolving the limitations that block your authentic self from shining. Trust in who you are and know that being you is more than enough. The entire universe conspired for you to exist right now. It's already given you everything you need when you let your authentic self shine. You align with the natural flow of the universe and you become magnetic beyond your wildest dreams, and you inspire us to remember that we are all here to do the same. When you have a calling, it won't stop calling, yet no matter how big or important the vision is, there is no pressure. The only thing you can do is what you choose to do with the now moment. Take that awareness to heart and consider what the best step is right now. The only thing that's ever gotten anything done is step-by-step progress. So keep moving no matter what. Keep going and never stop. There are so many reasons beyond the outcome for you to move toward that vision. Trust the precious gift of receiving your calling. Know that it is inevitable. Fall in love with the process and enjoy the miraculous journey of how it all unfolds. The reality you experience is an experience of you. It's all an extension of your conscious and subconscious perceptions and expectations. When you really realize your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, you get to play a different game of life. You take your power back and begin to consciously co-create your reality. When you embody this in the micro moments of your life, you awaken your power within more. And you remember that you have so much more potential to influence this shared reality field too. The more people who awaken to this power within, who can hold their vision and be the walking embodiment of it in their own lives, the more we will get to co-create the beautiful world our hearts desire to experience. People will tell you that you can't change your past, but actually you really can. When you change the way you perceive your past, you change your past, present, and upcoming times. And when you change what you make your past mean about who you are, the ripple effect of healing and transformation is immediate and profound. You lived through it all, and you deserve to give yourself much more credit for that. See your past through an honoring lens of lessons learned, humility embodied, and compassion gained. When you upgrade the way you see your past, your entire life will change before your eyes. No stopping us. There are so many reasons to feel discouraged, but that's not what we'll focus on. Instead of fighting the old, we'll build the new, because we're awake now. We're alive, we're conscious, and we're aware of the power as created beings. So what we'll do is love deeper, create more art, play more, and be kinder to one another. We'll heal the lies that we were fed and heal the trauma that has been widespread. We'll raise awakened children, break out of limitations, create our own version of heaven on earth, and invite others to join. We'll remain steadfast in our devotion to a more beautiful reality, and we won't get discouraged by roadblocks along the way. There's so many of us awake now, there's no stopping us. You are the creator of your own universes. Your thoughts, your actions, and your imagination create and set life into motion. You can create what you want to believe, what you want if you believe. So never stop believing in the magical, unstoppable you. As you as you heal, your frequency will shift. The people, jobs, and places that are no longer in resonance will fall away. It might feel jarring at first, and it may feel lonely at times. This is natural. Remind yourself to avoid the tempting trap of judging self or others for why it's falling away. It's all about it's all about resonance. The energy is no longer an effective match. You will eventually attract the new, and it will make sense when you do, rather than fighting to hold on to something that isn't in resonance, which is about the passage of time getting diminished, what I was on about there. Your subconscious mind has access to limitless information, yet the quality of info it gives you depends on how you direct it. It's just that most people unconsciously direct it to produce weak results. For example, they'll say something like, I don't know, so the subconscious will show them more evidence of not knowing, or they'll say, what if that doesn't work out? So the subconscious will show them why it won't work. Pay mind to the way you influence your mind. Instead of, I don't know, say, show me the solution. Instead of, what if it doesn't work, say, guide me to the best case scenario. It's time to direct your mind as the miraculous being you truly are. One of the most powerful skills you can build is to let an emotion pass through you without attaching a story to it. Not all emotions you feel are yours. Some of them are learned and habitual, and some of them were picked up from watching a video or from someone you recently interacted with. And if you attach to the negative story that comes with the emotion, you will attach to a perspective that isn't true. Negative stories are not fully true perspectives, or they wouldn't cause only negative emotions. Let the emotion pass without attaching to or believing in the thoughts or stories. It completely changes the game. The emotion will pass, and then higher awareness of understanding will naturally come. This is a skill worth strengthening. That's what that's like the paper without the bits I wrote in there. But I speak about the pyramids and the Bible and how one's imagination, because we come from the Atlantean times. The Atlanteans came before the Egyptians did. That was when it was all the power of the mind. And they say God first thought the world into creation with the mind. So the Bible is more of a legitimate fucking emotion on what the feeling is that the God wanted the world to be. Basically, it tells us to eat our food at the table, be polite, don't murder or steal or take another's, you know, and the Egyptian side comes back into the Bible when they talk of edifying the spirit, like bringing that person, letting them go to heaven and fucking remaining the bad stuff on earth, like to break down. And anyway, that's through marijuana, So that made me think, oh yeah, like going by that thinking, since the pyramids are technically the down to nature friggin' aspect of religion, like the man's best friend, the dog, highlighted as a sphinx, like a man dog. And anyway, the Bible don't talk about that, but the Bible talks about selling things at a market, referring to animals, buying food, eating at the dinner table, being polite, having hope for better days. And the Egyptians are like what we see in real life, because they're probably just a fake monument. They probably look completely different to how they really are. They probably came out of the sun. That's probably where they really came from. And I have my suspicions, but if in my thinking, if it worked that way, the crystal fucking pyramids came out of the sun, landed and turned into a friggin' megalithic structure. If I had my thinking, fuck. Yeah, if I had my thinking, that means like they're the world around us, like they're the weather, they're the fucking environment. That's why there's more than one pyramid and it's spread out. They're the environment, and the pyramid's like considered to me our hospital, and the curse of that is not to be the center of attention. You look at the things like around Tutankhamun and that, and there's no activity really in that part of the world. Like I said, the curse is not to be the center of attention. And that's why, it's a hospital, but it's just about the eye. If the eye's on us, like, but I elaborate further with the fucking evolution of it, the technology being like around my birth year, and I've evolved with it. But all that came from the days of going to the moon. So we went to the moon and we watched it on TVs in black and white vision. And being bodies of water, we were all affected. We all had this dream we all shared, which was the smartphone. But the phone's going to be real, but the smart idea of it, it's just imaginary. You think you want to be, you think you're smart, but you're not. Like, there's no really smart, there's just your profession and occupation, what you've learnt, you know, because there's no smart, all-knowing fucking person. But, I just wanted to fucking, like, if I see you, I'll read this to you. I'll get your signature. Like, I'll read the bits I've even written on there, like, every bit. But thank you very much.